Hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Astral Calling here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Tonight, the left side of the overlay. It is the left side of the overlay.
On
Um,
pizza, left beef.
um, Chad is out with COVID. Rash is
Oh.
out.
Mild.
Yes, mild. It hasn't hit Chad like a truck. It's just been sinuses, thankfully. Rash is out as well this week, and as is Sarah. So send good vibes all around. The summer sickness truly is coming through. Uh, but before we get started, a few fun announcerinos. Tomorrow night, Tabletop Bros are taking the night off. I'm hanging out with Emily, and we are sorting and cataloging all of our Lorcana cards because our collections are officially together, which if you're a nerd, you know that's a big step. Then, on Sunday, Cozy Co-op, Will, Sarah, M, playing Stardew Valley this week. Assuming the Raiders don't get off our server for 14, and Emily can start playing 14 with me and Sarah. Then, on Monday, speaking of Sarah, Strength 1000, our newly buffed Alchemist will hopefully get to use some of their abilities. Alchemist got a huge buff in PF2 with the remaster Alchemist. It's great. It's great. The remaster is great if you're not an Oracle. Then on Tuesday, Elden Ring. I found there's a very cool thing we'll talk about in a minute, but there's a very cool thing I saw. Matt and Will, Elden Ring, making progress, killing a boar maybe.
Maybe we don't, as mentioned, we don't actually need to kill the boar. And I'll admit, I'm just bad at that boss. I can't
That's
get the
fair.
timing down right. He is huge and very aggressive.
Well, then we can figure out some stuff. Maybe kill maybe we'll AFK kill the final boss of the DLC
Can I
using.
just say, Matt, when you said we actually don't need to kill the boar, I was like, oh, is the boar really sweet? You don't want to kill it because it's not hurting anything. No,
I,
it's mean and aggressive and it's a difficult fight.
to be fair, there's a guy riding the boar too, who's very mean and aggressive and throws gravity rocks at us.
Which is why I like him, because
As
that's the
opposed
type of
to
magic I use.
non-gravity
Well, he
rocks?
uses magic, gravity
Telekinesis.
magic to throw them at us.
Ah.
They're purple and sparkly.
That's why I like the gravity magic in Elden Ring.
It is pretty
Um,
cool.
then
I
on
really don't like that boss.
Wednesday, Wild Ambition. Heist continues. We took the week off because we had half the cast out due to summer sickness again. Thursday, we don't do anything. I would say if you're in Winnipeg, come and do PFS, but we're sold out already for next week and the week after and the week after. Um, Apparently I'm enjoyable for PFS. That's really fun. I'm not going to lie, I was really excited because we had a completely new player join us on Thursday of this week, and then immediately after the session, they went and signed up for the next 3 weeks. And I was like,
Nice.
I feel fucking good about myself. And I've been riding
Aw.
that high. Uh, then, speaking of riding highs, on Friday, the Astral Calling, our spell jamming spectacular. And tonight, I'm going to introduce the cast that we have here, as well as ask them two questions: a opinion question and a question of their personality. So, first off, opinion question. We'll go actually after I introduce someone who has created this idea initially, and I'm ripping it from mercilessly and unapologetically. Matt playing Darius. How are you doing tonight, Matt?
Hello, everyone. I am ready to forge some things, be a cleric, be the straight man to this group in more ways than one.
In many ways than one. Uh, well, speaking of, so here are your two questions. Number one, if you were a type of food, what food would you be?
Blueberry milkshake.
Cool. And then
Elaborate.
a question. Oh, elaborate.
I don't know. Comforting, not particularly healthy, often found in fun, silly restaurants, and blue.
Are you blue?
Baba dee
Abba
da
dee doo
doo.
die. And then the second question for you, this is the opinion question, is Hot to Go this generation's YMCA?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Matt, you just made McKenna so mad.
No, Matthew, it's fine. Just
What?
sometimes I forget
Hold
that
on.
straight men exist.
Hey,
It's not your fault.
Can I get some context?
the song Hot to Go, you know, H-O-T-T.
Hottogo. You can take me hot to go. The lyrics are not that hard.
I can't remember the last time I listened to a song that wasn't attached to some kind of YouTube video.
Fun fact, if you went to see Journey to the
Like
Center of
where
the
do I
Earth,
where do I listen to music? I don't have a radio. I don't have I don't use Spotify.
you don't have a radio? I have a
There's
radio.
no one. First of all, do you not have you don't have a car?
No.
First of all, does
Also,
no
I don't
one
have-
else just go on like YouTube binges, but only for music?
No. I
We're
do
not
that
free.
too.
Jump from song
Sadly-
You're
to song
not
to
strange.
song.
I do
It's
that too.
usually only things that I've already heard, but just in slightly new contexts or remixes. The most recent thing I've discovered is Epic the Musical, and I've just been listening to that over and over again.
But when?
But only certain songs.
Yeah.
Also,
No,
some
I
goddamn
love-
talented animatic makers for those. Gosh damn.
You're not kidding about that.
If
Yeah.
you want a very good animatic for the Percy Jackson musical, look up the Campfire song My Hero Academia animatic for it. It's really good.
Mm.
It's a really good animatic. So Matt will be rendered mute for this next one. Next up, the person who can understand my Emily's pain the most right now when I say the TikTok sound of it's mindful, it's demure. Sorry, I have a magic joke that I want to make with that sound that's been going through my head. Has been going
Do it.
through my brain like the Bo Burnham songs were a couple of years ago. It's McKenna playing Evie.
Hello. that was a little turbulent on the entrance, but we got there.
Stuck the
We made
landing.
it up to altitude. Hello, everyone. I'm McKenna Tynan, coming at you from Los Angeles, California, and tonight I am playing Experiment 3 version 13, also known as Evie. She's the party's plasmoid artificer, alchemist specifically, and I'm McKenna Art on all of the platforms.
Links in the chat.
If I were
If you were a food, what food would you be? Now, it's not like a sort of, oh, what was that terrible film? It's not like that type of thing, but it's just like if you were a food. Like, you're not like a sentient
Are you
food,
talking
you're
about the
just a
menu?
food. No,
No, you're talking about
Is that
sausage party.
Yeah, that one.
Two different directions. I'd be a s'mores. No, I'm kidding.
The menu was good.
The menu was good,
Sausage
but I
party
could
was
see
not.
why I could see you not enjoying it.
I enjoyed the menu a lot. It was great.
Oh, good.
It was amazing. It was scary.
I skipped it.
But it was
That
good.
surprised me. Oh, what would I be? Would it be too self-deprecative to say pig in a blanket?
No.
Not because I think I'm a pig, but because I like to be cozy at all times.
And yet you live
and
in
I'm also not
California.
Why do you think I live here, Matthew? Do you think I could survive in the frozen tundra of wherever it is that you guys
Yes,
live?
you
No.
can't be cozy without cold.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even believe you're in California. Show me the earthquake.
I can prove it.
That's a Star Trek effect. They're shaking the stick. They're pretending.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god. I mean, that's what it would look like. You would just see my computer go.
Yeah. Cat flies
Well,
across the
And
screen.
you hear my makeup falling off my desk too. Yeah, Kacho is actually very relaxed. You want to see? Do you want to see
Yeah.
the baby boy?
Aww. A
Look
rare.
at him!
He's not moving. How rare.
Emily,
I know.
Emily sent me a picture of
The
a
baby.
Joe fully stretched out, like in like full long form, and I was like, aw.
Also, I've already decided. Don't tell him. I'm gonna cover his ears. I've already decided what Kacho's Halloween costume is going to be. He is going to be Puppy Cat. I found cat safe hair chalk. So I'm gonna do his little ears and little paws brown. Gonna give him little angry eyebrows. I'm gonna put a big old bell around his neck. He's gonna hate it. And then I'm gonna put Pepper in a little bee costume. And they're gonna be bee and puppy cat. Or maybe I'll go as bee. I haven't decided yet. That's kind of a commitment. But anyway, what was the second question?
Is Hot to Go this generation's YMCA?
Only time will tell. I love Hot to Go, as evidenced by the rant I just went on about it. But I feel like music these days does not have the same staying power as it did back in the ye olden days when YMCA came out.
The 60s.
I do think she is about as iconic in the queer community as the Village People are, at least at this current juncture. We will see if her popularity has staying power. I really hope it does, because I think she's neat. By she, I mean my favorite artist, Chapel Roan.
Your favorite drag queen's favorite drag queen, Chapel Rowan.
That's that's Sasha Colby.
Oh, is it? Oh, she's still
Hold
from
on,
Chapel.
let me
That's
start a
right.
chart.
I remember
To
this.
quote Chapel
I remembered watching the thing and I just got it. Floop.
Yeah,
The
Sasha
whiteboard.
Colby said, "I'm your favorite drag queen's favorite drag queen," and then
And she,
Chapel
yes.
referenced that in a concert and said, "I'm your favorite artist." And then when Jimmy Fallon was like, "How did you come up with that?" she goes, "I was referencing the iconic Sasha Colby because she's an icon." You brought
I
up
remember
Chapel
that.
Roan. That was a mistake on your part.
That interview was such a train wreck. Did you watch it?
Which one?
The
Jimmy Fallon one?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad. I just don't think Jimmy Fallon knows how to talk to gay people.
Yes.
As evidenced by his interview with both Chapel Roan and RuPaul.
Yeah.
They were both
I
similar
mean, what are you
levels
going to say to
of...
RuPaul? Like, how's the fracking going?
No, he called RuPaul a drag queen, and RuPaul goes, "A drag queen?" And he goes, "I am the queen of drag." Jimmy Fallon looks so scared.
He was like, "Oh God, am I about to be canceled?"
Well, that's the thing, is that's when I say he doesn't know how to talk to gay people. It's
Yeah.
that we, the community, have a very particular sense of humor. And I think straight people are sometimes a little bit afraid that they're about to get in trouble.
In fairness, they're always a little in trouble.
Well, that's on them.
And then of course we have the person who would honestly be a kick-ass sort of just general voice to have as like your pro tag in a RPG would be Rose.
Oh, thank you.
Like one like the default like Baldur, like a default Tav or a default Veilguard. Like yeah, I would use Rose as my default voice for like an avatar in a game. That'd be fun.
You know what? I'm here for it.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you're looking for that, hi.
Even better,
I'm
Mahoyo,
available.
give her
Well-
a 5-star and Zenless.
Hold on. So for both Veilguard, for judging by previous Dragon Age games, and for Baldur's Gate 3 games, can you do a British accent, Rose?
Of course I can.
That's perfect. That is actually excellent.
These boots have seen everything.
You have
There's a
made
lot on
my
my
day.
mind.
And I had an entire
Well,
pizza tonight,
in
so
it.
it's a high bar.
Yes, I can. Anyway, your questions.
Rose, if you were food, what type of food would you be?
As much as I don't want to indulge your vor habit by like saying what kind of food I would be.
Reset the
By
timer.
that, all I mean is that all of your D&D enemies try to eat people.
All of
But,
them.
To be fair,
I actually had this
Calder
conversation with
didn't try to
somebody.
eat someone.
Not
Word
yet.
of life.
Imagine if I did
And
that.
I think
McKenna would have
Judith
been.
would disagree.
McKenna.
But I did recently actually have this conversation with somebody. So the answer is a decadent fruit tart.
Sorry.
Shut the fuck up.
Very mindful.
We're all a little fruity here. I wouldn't necessarily describe myself as a tart, but I would describe myself as fruity. So we relate on that basis at least. I'm sorry. I love you.
I'll take it.
And Rose, hot to go. New
As much
YMCA.
as I love snapping and clapping and touching my toes and body roll, I don't think it's the YMCA.
Fair enough. And last but not least, hello, my name is Will, also known as Tabletop Roles on the internet. My own questions to be answered. Number one, a frog eclair. So that is a eclair that I had once. That was just a normal eclair, but instead of it being like regular chocolate, it was green colored chocolate, and the cream was like red cream, like a little frog's tongue. So it was like it was a frog eclair. It was not an eclair made of frog, but it was yeah, it was great. And either that or a tiger tail from Disney, because I have one of those every time I go into the parks. It's my go-to snack. Then for my other question, I didn't know. I just was curious because I heard people talking about it online, and I was like, oh, ask my friends these questions. It would have been cool to have a bigger sample size. So chat, tell us what you think. Is Hot to Go the new YMCA, or a new YMCA?
Damn
Otherwise,
kids.
I think it's time for us to roll our intro and get into the game. Wrong button. Last time on the Astral Calling,
I was Vim for a second.
you were Vim for a second. Everyone was Vim for a second, if my lore is to be correct. But last time on the Astral Calling, our party found themselves in a in the heart of the Hellion Forge, also a weapons lab of Dr. Tolatio's design, where a number of sentient weapons had been created. Whilst there, they discovered the Calistigian Order was already in the area. After fighting through them, they made their way to the basement, where they found massive racks of weapons, all sword friend prototypes that have been in various different states of usability and sentience. Once down in the basement, a battle ensued between our party and one of the harbingers of the Calistigian Order, the Harbinger of Loneliness, and their dragon companion. After using the sentient weapons to defeat them and basically taking them out before they could get away, our party watched as Luna bunny hopped their way to a hole in the wall that said power charging station. And as Swordfriend said, please insert me into the wall. Luna obliged, stabbing Swordfriend in. And all of the sentient weapons in the room immediately lost their power as it was transferred to Swordfriend.
Hello?
Hello, Luna. Thank you for reactivating my functionality. And as you do so, Swordfriend says, if you would, please point me away from your friends.
Oh, okay.
And as you do, a number of almost semi-solid, think holographic, almost like hologram versions of a bunch of weapons form around you, Luna, and they fire out in like a stream and basically smash into the wall, dealing damage to it.
Limited friend works.
Yes, basically.
I love it.
I thought you would. Rose. I will give you the stats for that next week when I finish.
Oh, it's not
testing it.
just cosmetic.
It's not just cosmetic. It is an actual ability. It will cost your action. It's going to be a dex save against a DC that I have to either set or come up with a set based on you that will scale. And then it will deal 66 force damage. And that will scale up as you level.
Take it.
Sword Friend seems a little bit more sentient now as well. Their sentences are a bit stronger. Their voice is a little bit more steady. And yes, that is what you got from that. Also, in addition to that, the Archdevil of the Hellion Forge was slain. Forgot about that very important note for a minute. They took a couple arrows and a dragon bite, and they dissolved into hell, basically hell dust, returning to the cycle.
Oh. Does that complete the contract?
Fortunately, they were not slain by you.
Had to ask.
Yeah. But as you are all kind of standing there after Sword Friend's little power up, Rash, Vim, and Cypress are going to begin to basically search the room to see if any of these weapons are usable. What do Evie, Luna, and Darius do?
Curious and concerned. Does anyone require any healing?
Oh, the Devil of the Forge.
I mean,
Well, Evie looks to Luna, looks to the pile of ash on the floor.
Luna looks at Evie, looks at the pile of ash on the floor, looks at Darius expectantly.
she looks at me, and I look at her.
So, first of all, it's been longer than 60 seconds since he passed. So Darius would be unable to use Revivify, and to my knowledge, and she sort of looks to Darius for confirmation, we do not have a resurrection spell that has a contingency longer than that. Additionally, even if we did, we would need a body to resurrect him into, and we don't have one of those because he's dust.
No one breathe very heavily. Like,
Oh,
yes, I'm afraid this is currently beyond my.
what if you put him in the armor? That could be a body.
I think that's a lovely idea, Luna. Evie
As
takes
I
a
just-
dustpan
just
from
poke her,
her
like,
bag of
full
many
metal
Hold
Oh,
on,
this
let me
spray.
make one. Clang, clang, clang.
No, he has his big suit of
This is
armor.
a big suit of
No, the
armor.
dustpan.
I
Oh,
see.
okay.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
was
was like,
just
with
gonna say
big suit of
Evie's
armor,
clothes
can we Full Metal Alchemist?
If you, yes, but it will come at a great cost. If you full metal
I mean,
Alchemist
I've
this,
got
I'm
more
allowed-
legs than.
The laws of equivalent exchange.
I'm allowed to. If you attempt to full metal alchemist this and are successful, I am also then allowed to full metal alchemist things. And you all know exactly what I will do.
I don't know what you're
Yeah,
going to do, actually.
take my. Will it cost me an arm and a leg?
I mean,
it
I've
will-
got 4 legs.
It will make someone very inseparable from their pet.
Yeah, Will's gonna horrifyingly fuse a child to their pet dog.
So, if you had actually been paying attention during Full Metal Alchemist, you would know that only one of those things is an alchemical taboo. The other one's just Shao Tucker being a dick. They're not on the same level of alchemy at all.
I mean, both are kind of illegal. He got arrested for that.
It's a societal taboo, but in terms of like the greater
the truth. Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's not going to be pulled through the gate for that.
Yes, precisely. Oh my god,
Anyway.
Kachi is so asleep and it's so cute.
Yeah, because
If-
I guess
if you would like to attempt to bind this imp ash to the armor, you certainly could try. I would allow it.
What kind
No,
of a
this is
check
going-
that?
this is going beyond healing, so I'm not sure if I'm
Let me-
necessarily even
let
the
me
person to do.
What
Roll
kind
a
of
little
check is it?
Arcana to see what the situation is,
Or
to
a religion?
see what our
Should I roll
chances are.
religion?
That's a 29 in Arcana. Like, how would one do this?
So, and a 17 from Darius for religion. So, the process of soul forging
Not exactly what we were talking about, but
takes a entity and infuses it into a weapon.
Sure.
If you were to use that process with them on maybe a suit of armor or a weapon, it may give them some form of life as a sentient item. If you're looking to turn them into sort of a armor golem with full sentience and such, that could also be possible with the process. It would just be a little bit more difficult.
would it also be possible and maybe helpful?
It would.
It-
I
well,
will say
let me
this,
finish.
It would return him to existence, but he would no longer be an archdevil.
Which is kind of for the best anyway,
Yeah.
because
What I was going to ask, Will, is that would the process be helped or hindered if I literally reforged part of the armor and used their ashes part of the smelting process to make them into the armor itself, rather than just
That
slapping a crest on there and hoping
that
for the
would
best?
that would be required for soul forging.
Okay. I mean, I'm willing to try if that is what the group would like.
Yes, please.
I
Eva's
kind of look
very
over at
nice.
Evie, like looking for a nod, perhaps, because I know Luna's intentions are good.
But you know what they say.
you're looking at the wrong person for intentions. You look over at Evie and you can see the gears turning in that viscous little brain of hers. And you know it's less about the intention and more about like, could I do this? Is this something that I
It's
can
the mad
accomplish?
scientist in her.
Oh no.
Like she's thinking so hard about whether or not she could. She is not thinking about whether or not she should. So she's like, yes, I think this could be accomplished.
I'm looking at Evie, and subconsciously, the back of her plasmoid head is literally morphing into gears that turn out of goo.
Yes, exactly.
God, now I'm thinking of an Eevee Megamind cosplay.
Oh no.
Anyway,
So would we be doing this here? I mean,
Oh, yes.
Can-
It would make sense to do it at the forge that is here.
Is the
Conveniently.
was the forge
Also,
in this
moving
room?
that big piece of armor would be
it's
hard.
upstairs, but yes.
Well, we can just drag the armor. I have some ropes or chains.
We could also go up to the armor because we only have a little bit of him instead of.
All right, I take out like a jar for you to.
Thank you.
Just I know with dust working in a forge and soot and ash and everything, the slightest breeze, that stuff's just everywhere.
I'm going to ask you a very important question, Darius. What is the jar normally for? Like, is it just a jar that Darius carries around with him?
It's a jar of like materials and the like. There are a lot of things that go into forging process. Like I've got
Element.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get your mind out of something, Will.
No, I was
Get
just
your
like,
mind out of the jar, William.
I'm
I
sure you
know
collect
where
things like gold dust and like.
Well,
Exactly.
actually, I probably
Or-
carry the diamond.
Various.
all right. So Darius dumps out the diamond dust.
I have many jars. Glass blowing is pretty close to forging. It just requires more lungs.
So Darius
And
dumps
if
out
he
the
were
diamond
short,
dust.
if he were
No.
short a jar, you know who has all sorts of alchemical jars and beakers and doodads and whatnot?
Luna.
Me.
You should look at really
Oh,
old
no,
style
I have a
grenades,
net.
Will.
Do you think a net would help?
No,
Oh.
sorry.
But thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
Purchase a sin.
All right, so
All right. So we have
ashes
the armor.
in a jar.
we
I'm
have
labeling it.
the Archdevil, and okay, so we're going to need an Evie lists off like with that 29 in Arcana everything that she knows she'll need to accomplish this.
Approximately 300 imps. But remember, imps are just basically this planet's oxygen, so...
Yeah.
I will do this thing, but I'm going to be uncomfortable the whole time.
Would with that 29 in Arcana, would I know whether or not this ritual would be helped if we had additional forgers?
It would be... Some people could assist in the ritual, but it would basically come down to the main person forging the armor.
Nurse, I need 2 smaller hammers. Stat.
5 cc's of imps.
Well, because the armor is already forged, we're going to use his big boy armor.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just a matter of attaching him to it.
oh,
Yeah, you'll need to basically reheat part of the armor to, like, basically reforge a section of the armor with him inside of it to have the sentience activate.
I could do something where, because the armor is technically going to be hollow, I could literally make a metal heart, and while that I'm forging, like I make this from scratch, while it's still molten, I pour the ashes into that, so the ashes will be literally in the very metal itself, and then we install this metal heart like suspended on chains inside the armor.
Okay, all right. That
Very
sounds.
mindful.
If that sounds fun to you, then yes, you should do it.
I mean, to me, it sounds pretty cool looking too.
If that makes you enthusiastic about this, then yes.
I mean, I do enjoy my work. This is like Matthew in Photoshop work.
That was a 5-syllable word.
All right, so we bring the ashes upstairs.
Mhm.
I put in an order for X amount of imps.
Hey, there's just like an imp bucket that you can just grab from it as you need.
Are they like, do they have faces? Do they
No.
smile?
Well, I mean, yeah, they have faces and stuff, but
Are they
They're imps.
wriggling around in there? Or...
yeah, it's like a bucket of crabs.
As a vegetarian, this is getting worse for me.
I'm sorry.
No. I can separate myself. I'm also, compared to when I play a barbarian, I'm also not a murderer in real life. So-
Yes. Well, these are basically, remember, the imps on this planet are basically like manifestations of the planet's energy. Like they are of the planet, and when they die, they return to the planet.
Into some
It's
Final
okay, Will.
Fantasy.
You can just say it's fucked up. It's
not-
fine.
It's not fucked up. It's
Remember, Will, it's fun in campaigns when you have to do things possibly that are a little uncomfortable, but you gotta do them anyway.
it's no. I try to avoid that dramatically, Matthew.
Sometimes you have nothing but bad choices, but you still have to choose.
Fair enough.
The hardest choices
So true.
require the
So
strongest
true.
wills.
We as Americans understand that.
Oh, too real. Anyway, I'm just gonna lose myself in my work so I can avoid all ethical quandaries. May the spark, if it had sentience, but it doesn't, forgive me.
Well, I mean, yeah. This is technically, by the rules of the spark, totally okay to do.
I'm choosing not to think about that.
Yeah.
Cling, cling.
Can I assist with my tinkerer's tools?
Yes, I would allow.
Well,
Because you will need to basically get, like, there'll be some like fine detail work that needs to be done. Like you'll need to make like an arcane sigil on the inside of it. That is,
Oh,
Pretty
wow.
good roll.
Yeah,
I'm going to
31.
even say that is a critical success. Fox and Quill, thanks for the raid, y'all. I know this
Hi.
isn't Pathfinder 2e, but because you got a 29 I'm giving you a critical success on that. Matt,
Yes, sir?
Darius will get a advantage on this roll as well as a +1.
I should also like to point out, Will,
Mhm.
last night you said I would get an extra hero point.
You do have an extra hero point because of the was it me or you that made the pun?
It was me if you were giving me the hero
Yes,
point.
it was you made a very good pun last night during PFS.
Before the game even started, I think.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to roll on my Smith's tools. So it'll be +1, whatever this. Oh, I'll put on advantage.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Do you want to use a
8.
hero point for that?
Yeah, that was only an 8.
But
Now, question. Does
Yes,
this get me another roll with
It gets you
advantage?
another roll with
Yes.
advantage, yes.
Okay, I couldn't
Okay.
remember.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Nat 20.
yes.
The
So
first
bad.
one was ethical quandaries are getting in the way, but then I get into the zone of just doing the work.
And Darius, you pound. I can't think of a way to say this in a good way. You reforge the armor.
There you go. There you just did
Uh,
it.
You pounded life back into
I,
it.
I created this heart.
Sounded like right back into that.
I
temple.
suspend the heart in between in the hollow cavity of where the person's chest would be in a normal suit
Yes,
of armor.
talk
and-
more about the hollow cavities.
Yes, that the hooks of the metal, which I then also use a little bit of my fire forge magic to fuse the ends of the hooks shut, so it's literally just chained there. They can't be pulled off unless you literally hack the chains off the heart.
What in the
Thank you.
Zonkathon?
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. I got nothing.
We don't know what Nito and Darius
no
do when
good
they pray
response to
together.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I only have the thumb screws on my desk. The rubber handcuffs, which I stole from a play, are in the other room.
I
The
have
fact
to
that-
appreciate you for leaning into that and making it more uncomfortable.
That's how you deflect.
It
Lean
is.
into it.
I have to respect it.
Oh Lord, love a duck. But yes, Darius, you
Your lights changed as you went. Whoo!
I'm still out of my chair. It's fine.
successfully
clang.
reforged the armor with the former Archdevil the Forge's soul now attached to it.
I'd like to point out too, this is an anatomically correct looking metal heart. So it's got
It's
the
also a nat
valves.
20, so he's super duper alive.
Yeah, and it's
actually,
glowing with red veins or
produces
something.
out of the aorta.
Sure.
Yeah, I
I think
think
that's
so.
the top of the heart. Yeah. Out
the
of that,
valves.
it produces smoke.
Oh, so smoke's coming up
Yeah.
through the neck.
So it's like smoke's coming up out through the head of the armor, and it's trailing down the armor in a
Oh.
sort of mysterious mist.
Oh, it's a fog machine from a Halloween thing.
Yeah. But as they kind of stand and now, does their voice change?
I think it would actually be very funny if we're going by Full Metal Alchemist rules.
It
no.
doesn't.
Exactly. The same.
Yeah.
I would ask, actually, in this moment,
Mhm.
I would ask, if I can, being the non-DM, I would like to ask Evie and Luna to make a perception check.
Perception or
Okay.
insight?
Oh God! Did Darius
Uh,
put his maker's mark on this poor man.
It doesn't matter for me at least, but
I would say more perception because this is not.
Wow.
I rolled a 12, which is as good as can be expected for Evie because she's got a plus nothing to it.
Never mind then.
Oh no.
Fair enough.
So Darius does pull out his
Wow.
little logbook that he always has and starts writing furiously.
How are you feeling?
They hold out their hand.
Luna takes it.
Oh, could you let go
Not
for?
not stolen, just holding.
Could
holding
you
their
let go
hand.
for a second? I need to try something.
Oh, okay. I thought
Oh,
you were looking
exerting
for
your
support.
power, perhaps.
They hold out their hand, by the spark, and in their hand instantly, a bunch of like fire and like forge sparks appear, and now there's like a blacksmith hammer in their hand. And then after a few minutes, it disappears back into the armor. You see them like, wait, I wonder. And you see them concentrate, and the armor on their hand shifts into a hammer. And then it shifts into a blade, and then it shifts. It basically appears, because Darius did so well binding their soul to the armor, they appear to have the ability to have the armor take any shape or form that they want.
Power of waters to take any shape.
Look out, a frog.
With a gun.
I may be out of spell slots, but I'm not out of ammo.
So good? You're feeling good?
I was in the Sparks Forge.
Oh,
It was lonely. There was no one else there.
well, I
Even-
guess it is a net good that you're back then.
I felt like there was supposed to be a caretaker. Even they weren't there.
That
Oh,
sounds bad.
Evie's just sort of looking over at Darius.
Hold on, what? What?
Nothing. It's okay. Well, welcome back to the world of the mostly living.
There's now the smoke is starting to form because they've been brought back to life in another form. The smoke now forms above their head in a little like halo.
Cute. That's charming, Darius. That was a nice touch. So, you are now permanently a suit of armor, not a person in a suit of armor, but a suit of armor. Your body was unfortunately destroyed, so we went with your next best body.
Or the best body we could accomplish at the time. I don't know
I
if you would have
figured at
preferred
least-
wood or straw.
I figured at
Ah.
least this one you had some level of familiarity with.
Yes, I made. Thank you. I was. Huh. I apologize. This is going to take some getting used to.
Oh,
That
understandably.
is
Sorry.
understandable.
If you do not like it, you should blame me.
Well, no.
It was my idea.
Well, yes, but you did not execute it.
Yes, if there's any flaws in the execution, I do take responsibility for that. I must admit, I have never tried this before. I feel like I may have learned a lot from it. But if there is something you are dissatisfied with, and it is within my power to correct, I would be happy to try. I can't at this
They-
point Oh,
They concentrate for a second, and they shift. They shift and change, and the armor, without losing any of its mass, shifts
Is it
down
redistributed?
shifts down back to his like
Little
ink form.
Kirby sized self.
Yeah.
that must make him much more dense then.
Oh yeah, like if you go to try to pick him up, he is basically a tungsten ball.
Yeah, the heart's probably still in there, but
It is.
now it's like no longer an empty kind of chest plate. It's just in the middle of a solid mass of metal now. Clang, clang as he moves around. Clang, clang, clang. With the trolley.
Dang, dang, dang with the bell.
And it's strange because like now he's back in this farm, he's like looking up at all of you. Ah. Okay. I don't think I'm a devil anymore.
No, you are no longer an archdevil. That much I can confirm.
Okay.
You are in armor.
I am.
Well,
Wait, am
I'd
I?
almost say more of a very special kind of golem, perhaps a constructive type.
You are whatever you want to be.
That's true. We're not defined by our forms. Some people even more than others. I look over at Evie, who I've known to take several different forms. Um,
I am the bone of my own
You-
armor.
you are who you choose to be. You are not a gun. Anyone see the Iron Giant?
No.
Oh, it's very
That's
good.
one of those movies. You ever have one of those where people are like, "Oh my god, you've never seen," and then they like tell you how great it is, but it
That
makes you
was-
want to watch that.
that
I
was-
recall earlier
was-
this evening when a song was referenced, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, and McKenna like looked like I had kicked one of her cats.
That was
You did,
literally
but it's okay.
that was literally Emily yesterday with Labyrinth for me, because I've never seen Labyrinth.
Okay, can I say something about
Okay.
Labyrinth?
Please
Go for it.
It's not that good. The puppets are impressive. David Bowie is impressive.
Fun to
The movie
watch,
itself,
but-
I think, is difficult to watch, especially if you're a lesbian watching it with straight women and they're like, ah! And you're like, what? But I thought it was just okay. I thought a lot of the humor was sort of hard to sit through.
Wish I could do
It
the
was
ball
fine. I
juggling
like
thing.
some of the songs. Dance
Yeah,
Magic
the
Dance is
songs are
fun.
good. Listen, the aesthetic,
Immaculate?
immaculate. No notes. But like, I just didn't think the writing or the characters were solid enough to warrant the like wild cult following that it has.
I think it's more like almost like sort of a weird dream.
Well, the characters can still be enjoyable and likable.
You know what
in
else is a weird
dreams.
dream? The Wizard of Oz. You know what
And
it
I
is?
liked those
Good.
characters.
Nobody sees the wizard, not no way, not no how.
When I was a
I
child,
didn't
the
find
Wicked
myself
Witch scared me.
routinely annoyed. I'm sorry. Not me, but I'm sorry for you.
I mean, Wicked Witch is sort of supposed to scare people. Sort of.
She was the scariest thing when I was like in preschool. I would have like recurring nightmares about the Wicked Witch of the West. And one time after I saw Jurassic Park while in preschool because my mom's boyfriend was terrible, I had a dream where the Wicked Witch of the West had a T-Rex. And that I still remember that dream. I was like 3 and I still
That's so
remember that dream.
precious. That's so precious.
It was terrifying.
Also on that note now, because it just reminded me of something very fun. There is in Pathfinder 2e now a new ancestry called the Awakened Animal, which lets you play any creature with an animal tag with human intelligence as like an awakened version of it. Do you know what has the animal tag in PF2, McKenna, that would be surprising to be able to play as this?
No.
A Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I should feel the need to preface Will's declaration about this is that while you can play as anything that has the animal tag, and conceivably, if you have a good enough DM, just anything animal, you could be a platypus, it has no mechanical
With a hat, right?
benefit.
That way you can be Perry the platypus.
Platypus.
I mean, if you have the skill, you could certainly parry the platypus.
Matt, you get an extra
Or you
hero
could-
point for that.
You could shield bash the platypus.
That was great, Matt. You get a hero point for
You
that.
you get the junk one.
I love how the zoom filter blurred out the Chonka.
Dios mío.
Please
But
let that be a Genshin character. Please let me fight
With the sandal?
with the Chunkla.
I've
well,
seen
probably
that
that
everywhere.
would more likely be in Zenless. Let's call it
You were
spade a
right.
spade. That would be in Zenless. But as you've all been quite successful with that, they kind of return back to imp mode again. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to figure out life now. I don't know. Do y'all need me for something?
No, not particularly. We just thought it was
Do you?
sad that you died.
Do you
Oh.
need anything? I
I-
mean, we got you up to the bare minimum there. You have freedom of movement. You can move on your own power now and everything, but that's kind of a low bar.
I mean, I don't think I need to eat or drink anymore.
That's convenient.
Um,
Depending on how much you liked food before,
Oh, is
sorry.
there somewhere that you would like to go?
I mean, I'm literally home right now. Like this is the fortunately or unfortunately, I got killed in my home. So there's that. So I'm basically like home already. Like I'm good to go. I'm relaxing. I can just start forging.
You probably also have some resistance to physical damage now too.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm now made of a special adamantine alloy that's invulnerable, so I'm functionally immortal by the feels of it. I feel like I feel like I could be a wicked cannonball.
Oh, that sounds
Cause like
fun.
if they like fully shift themselves into a cannonball and then unshift themselves, like if I got fired into like a spelljammer, I could deal some damage. That's cool. All right.
Is he okay to swim?
He can't breathe, right?
That's a fair point. They could just walk across any deep body of water that they go to, unless it's yeah. Like adamantine, I don't know. Like, could you even walk through lava? Maybe.
I mean, like, and they like you see them like get back into like their big form, and they shift both of their arms into like swords, and they're like shadow box with these swords. I could probably be pretty good in a fight. I'm probably like combat ready. I got this.
Oh boy. All right. Well, sounds good. We have another archdevil to take care of, so
That's
Oh,
true.
have fun. Be safe. If y'all ever need anything forged, I mean, I'm not nearly as masterful as this smith over here, pointing at Darius, but I can help out.
Aren't you the chief smith of the biggest smithy on Hell
Yes,
planet?
but I mean, like, look at your skills. Like, look at your skills. Look at your.
he
He
has a
points to the
point.
frying pan. Look at your. You're a highly skilled smith. You're incredibly talented. The spark truly has blessed you.
Darius, you would think would be bashful about this compliment. He just suddenly starts looking like very much like looking into the near distance or something like unfocused. Like,
Like you by any point now it could be easily considered a forge master.
Mm-hmm.
well, obviously I gotta go work for Dracula now. Um, people haven't seen Castlevania. Okay. Anyway,
The anime, I can't.
That makes sense.
I wish you
um,
could.
no, yeah, that's understandable. Um, well, I'm glad you are not upset and not suffering some horrible identity crisis now. Um,
Oh, I am, but I think I'm just kind of like processing it. Like I'm in the midst of processing. You know what I mean?
Ah,
I'm
I
going to
get
ask a question, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer because it seems obvious. But hell probably doesn't have therapists, does it?
No, we do.
Are they good therapists?
Yeah, they're very good therapists. You'd be surprised at how many people's living hell is therapy. Like so the
Hold
hell's
on,
sort
hold
of
on,
like
hold on. I feel the need to clarify something here.
yeah.
There are many cultures with many concepts of an afterlife that is specifically for possibly punishment.
Yeah.
Is this that, or is this all interpretations of that? Is there redemption possible? I feel like we've been here. We've never really asked a lot of questions about the nature of this
I mean
planet.
it's sort of like just like a place where devils are formed. People sometimes souls get sent here for punishment. It kind of depends on the logistics of whatever they worship. Like for example, if you worshipped the goddess of bounty, she, if you're a bad person, hunts you eternally and has
Hmm.
people. You get turned into an animal. In their hunting grounds, and you get hunted eternally by them and their followers.
What if
Uh,
they're into that?
Then there is the goddess of fate, who she sort of has like a long sort of like several step redemption path for people because apparently like they saw a lot of
Gross.
folks go that way. And then there is this like apparently there's maybe a snake god that just eats you.
Though here, wouldn't it be
The
snakes?
fact that Chad's
Snake
not
Satan.
here to defend himself against your vor accusations is fucked up, man. He's sick right now, and you're over here
Resetting the timer. Vor's
besmirching the
mentioned.
name of his former character.
Nolan literally ate someone. That wasn't okay. Fine.
Shame on you, Will.
Fine. Fine. And then I hear if you're like a Fae, you just kind of get sent back to the original homeworld of the Fae and get reconstituted there. It sort of depends on what you're doing. Like sometimes souls get sent here. Sometimes like people think that they're like the worst person. So they end up like coming here on their own, thinking that this is what they deserve. And then, you know, we sit them down with a therapist, and eventually once they're ready, they leave once they get like a better feeling of their self-worth and like that they're not the worst person. Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts about all
Oh,
this.
and
but-
sometimes you use too many luck points and you end up here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess.
You know,
what about
let's-
if you don't worship any god and you're not a Fae?
Well, I guess there's sort of like for yourself. I guess like, are you asking about your own sort of like afterlife, like what you're looking for?
I mean, I guess. I don't actually know if I technically have an afterlife.
I mean, I think as long as you have a soul, you do.
Hmm.
Um,
I'll have to do some tests on that.
Please
On
don't.
souls?
On if I have one?
I feel like you should. Like, if you don't have a soul, your body doesn't change here. That's why you
Oh.
all kind of look devilly.
Oh yeah, that was the
Oh,
thing.
question answered then.
Yeah. I mean, you probably have some sort of afterlife coming to you. It may be determined by some self-judgment. I know that that's for some people who don't believe in any sort of like deity or religious figure. A lot of it comes down to self-reflection as to where they feel like they should be put. Sometimes folks just get shunted right back into the universe as new people.
Return to the cycle.
The only time
Huh.
that I've ever heard of something like that not happening to someone was there was this one lady on Gilded Garden who just one day burst into Gold Leaf, and then she the gods looked for her. They tried to figure out what happened to her because it was so strange, and she just it's almost like she got pulled entirely from existence.
When was this?
That would have been like a few hundred years ago by now. It was so random. It was big on the HoloNet for a bit.
It was big news.
I do the universe equivalent of Googling it.
Yeah, you will find it. You find a news story from about 150 years ago that talks about how a woman in Gilded Garden just burst into gold dust, and how basically a number of divine figures were asked for their input to try to find out if something had happened, like what happened, because people were curious that doesn't happen randomly.
Right.
It was determined it wasn't a murder. It was determined by basically a correlation of a number of different divine creatures and divine beings and servitors that the person died of that cause of death. They burst into gold dust. Their very existence was ripped from reality.
Is there anything
Is
about
that
who this person
possible?
was?
There is, as far as people can tell, the only reason why it's notated here is because some people saw it happen. But other than that, absolutely nothing is known about this woman. There's no name. No one remembers her. No one knows her.
No one had a description of her before she burst into Gold Leaf.
No one had a description of it. There is a picture of her that they had just the moment before that you can open up. It does have like a little like content warning. It's not like a thing. It's just like a person bursting into gold dust. Does Evie open the image?
Yeah.
Luna.
Yeah.
Upon seeing her face, you are immediately, the face looks familiar, and the name is on the tip of your brain. You feel a name. You know this person. You feel the name coming, and it almost like hurts you. Can you make me a wisdom save?
I can.
Certainly try.
All right,
I
Luna.
have a +9 to that. Like,
you do
my
have.
saves
I
are
always
really
forget
good.
you have a +9 to wisdom.
Well, I don't, but all my saves are actually really good. I think wisdom is a paladin save, and then on top of that, I get the +5 for being a paladin at this level.
Mhm.
You don't have to be like scientifically intelligent or well educated to be wise.
Luna is not. She's got a -1 modifier.
To intelligence or wisdom?
Intelligence is a 0, wisdom's a -1,
Oh,
which is why I play her the way I do.
respect.
Girl is all charisma and dex, and nothing else.
The name Shallowthorn.
Shallow thorn.
Shallowthorn.
Shallowthorn.
Shallowthorn. Shallowthorn.
Shallowthorn.
Shallowthorn. The name Shallowthorn comes to mind, and
I know
upon relearning her name, you feel a reminder. You get an inspiration as Luna is reminded as to why she initially took her oath.
Go on.
That's it. That's all. This name has something to do with why you took your oath as a paladin.
I knew her. Shallowthorn, she has something to do with why I originally took my oath of devotion. Sword friend, do you remember anything?
I do not remember. I apologize. This name is not in my memory banks.
I am assuming that if I were to look up Shallowthorn,
There's
Space
nothing.
Google would not yield.
When you look it up, that name has never been used for a person.
Well, that doesn't seem right.
It's been fully erased. And like you can tell that there's like remnants. Like if you find like a blank basically Spacebook profile that just has a picture of this person full up, but it's literally just that picture, and that picture is heavily digitized. Like it's partially destroyed. There's no posts, there's nothing. It's literally like there's little pockets of them, but as you're looking, there's just nothing.
Sword friend. You mentioned that if you got more power, you could help Luna with her memories.
Yes, I have regained a certain amount of power. I believe that I can. It just will require concentration, and it may affect Luna in some way. I would not recommend doing it until our business here is taken care of.
No, I want to.
Well, you heard her.
All right, Luna, please take a seat. Place me on your lap and focus on me. Keep your breath steady. Focus. Luna, you have 3 options right now. A memory of a familiar place, a memory of a familiar person, and a memory of something hurtful.
I think a place might be helpful.
As you try to focus on the place, you see your final moments of your life. Once again, that desert, that three-sunned planet where you were stepped on by the Calistigian Order in the previous incarnation. And it begins to rewind. It rewinds to the outside of a building. Luna is running outside of what appears to be a multi-tiered pyramid structure that basically has, like, there is a pyramid that has a flat top, a large square, and then a pyramid that's inverse, and then several other structures built off of it. Each one of them held up almost impossibly, but they are held up and the structure maintains. Luna, as you have that memory of that structure, you begin to go back in. It reverses Luna running out. You see hallways that have several, basically, images, each one different on the walls. You see thousands of different pictures of what appears to be the same person, but each one is slightly different. And then at the final moments, you see Luna standing in a large temple room. And a woman with long silver hair, tied up in a neat ponytail, is reaching out beside you, almost with a pained expression on her face, a face that you can tell is a face of loss. That same image when Evie died, that same expression that was on Luna's face is on her face. And the memory ends. Hey, Mike, did not pick that up.
Oh, where is that?
I do not know. It is the location. It was important. It was where the last cycle ended itself. Or the cycle before that? I do not know. There have been many cycles, Luna.
Do you know who that woman was?
I do not. Luna, would you like to push the memory? It will give you a point of exhaustion if you do.
Yeah.
As you push the memory deeper, more of the room opens up to you. You see not knights of the Calistigian Order around you. You see some sort of strange undead creatures stitched together and monstrous, with what appears to be, at the center of the room, defeated by you all, a three-headed lich. In the room with you, in addition to this silver-haired woman, is Evie, Darius, Rash, a creature that you recognize as Vim, but is not a moth. This one is a raven, like a Vim if they were a raven. on the dais, holding what appears to be a 20-sided, each with a different point, item in her arm that is clutched and glowing, pulling them into it, is Charlotte Thorne.
How can that be? My past cycle, you were there, and you were there, and you were there, and Shalathorn.
Would you like to push it once more for another point of exhaustion?
Ugh, half my speed. Yeah, you know what?
I mean, we'll just take a nap after this. We'll take a nap after
I also have a
this.
flying carpet.
Of course, McKenna would be like, just, we need the lore. We need the lore.
Look, we got time
Also,
to fill.
I will say this. Evie says, did you learn anything about Sharthor?
I'm gonna push it.
All right, push it.
Pushing
The
deeper.
memory begins to reverse even more. You see this lich creature holding on to the item, attempting to activate it, to open up doors to other places so that they can send undead and gain control of not other planets or other worlds, but of other universes. You see this magical item beginning to unlock the doors to different possibilities, to different worlds, to different entireties of existence. And you face off with this creature, this lich and his undead, and you defeat him, but the artifact, they pour their last bit of magic into it, and it appears to be ripping apart reality itself. It's taking every world that there can be, and it's not mixing them together. It is opening a door, laying them on top of each other. If something does not happen, everything will become one, and the damage that that will do is inconceivable. Shalathorn kisses the silver-haired woman. The person that you, Luna, now know is someone that has traveled with you all. This party of friends. The two of them have been together since the beginning, and they are love. They are what, if you think of true love, that is what you see. And she goes and she runs and she grasps the item, and it closes and pulls her inside of it, and all that's left is cold dust. Would you like to make one? Would you like one more point of exhaustion?
I have to check what that level is real fast. Give me just a second. Probably disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
We're gonna take a nap. We're gonna take a nap right after this.
We'll just get sprung with the combat just so that Will can have one where I'm fucked. Oh. I never get these, though. I never get these.
I did warn you it would take a lot out of Luna.
I mean, we've been playing this campaign for how long?
I'm straight 50. Okay, I have to decide myself. You know what? Fuck it. What is the point of the RPG if we don't RP?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
I will rely on y'all to protect me if need be. Let's go.
The Upon the item closing, the silver-haired woman runs towards it. She holds the item in her hands, cradling it, crying. And then you see her look at it puzzled. And she holds it up and it begins to open in her hand. As it does, knights of the Calistigian Order, almost as if called to command, come through, entering into the room. Vim, Darius, Evie, all of them are grappled, grabbed, cut down. Luna, your legs begin to move on their own. You begin to run out of this building. Would you like to push the memory again for another point of exhaustion?
How many are we up to?
I'd save another quarter and play a little more. Why not?
Blink.
This would be her 4th level of exhaustion.
Yes.
Oh boy.
6,
I mean-
you die.
I know. I know.
But we have a Revivify diamond. That 6 memory could be.
McKenna.
We
But if
how-
Luna dies, different things happen.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I forgot.
Oh boy.
Up to you, Rosie.
I've been sitting on this for a while,
Yes.
by the way. The memory freezes. Each of the people in this room is frozen. You can approach any character you would like here to receive information about them.
Click on the icon to learn more.
Learn about the silver-haired lady.
You walk up to
Yeah,
the
well.
silver-haired lady.
Ooh, fruity slice.
Her name immediately returns to you. Her name is Sildana. Sildonna. She is an archaeologist by trade, specializing in magical items of the past. Her wife, Shallowthorn, is a paladin and a person who, upon discovering Luna with no memory, took her under her wing. A memory of your time with Sildana returns to you. You are sitting at the campfire on watch. It is early on in your adventures. The rest of the party is there, but they are asleep. And Sildana is just sitting there with Shallowthorn asleep beside her, with her hand just like petting her head. And every now and then holding Shallowthorn's hand as she struggles in her sleep to calm her. She looks up towards you and she kind of smiles. You're becoming much stronger than you were when we met you, Luna. Truly are a guardian.
I can't take credit for that. I learned from Shallowthorn.
Yes, but you can learn the sword, but you can't learn bravery.
Thank
She smiles at you. Hopefully everything will work out in the end. And she taps like a little packet on her side that Luna holds some sort of artifact, a key of some sort. So you don't know what the key opens yet, but it's parts of a key. Hopefully we can find the rest of these and get them sealed away, and then things can go back to normal. We can finally maybe get her to go on a honeymoon.
You definitely deserve it.
I truly do adore her.
Anyone with eyes can see that.
She kind of like comes and sits by you at that moment. She gives like Luna a side hug. Almost as much as we adore you. The daughter we weren't prepared for, but I guess kind of have now.
Oh.
She smiles. I will admit, once this is all said and done, I might actually take Charlotte Thorne up on her offer of settling down with her and starting a family fully.
Well, I can say for a fact you two would make great parents.
And as the
Any kid would be lucky enough to have your kindness.
as that memory fades, Luna, you can get one more memory if you would like one more point of exhaustion. Go to 5.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I think
taking out half my health. I think Luna screams in pain.
As you settle down, the first few moments of that memory reappear almost to tease you. The boots of the one that puts Luna into this life. And you see a little bit more of the figure behind the boot. With silver hair, a magical artifact in hand, tears running down their eyes and a smile on their face. But you don't get any more than that.
Yeah, Luna shrieks in pain and like,
Luna! Luna, what? You're okay. You're okay. There's nothing here.
I did warn you, Luna, that pushing it could cause damage.
No,
I
needed to know.
In addition to this, Luna, because you've pushed it this far, permanently mark off one failed death save.
Permanently?
All right, I know this won't help
Noted.
with that, but just because I imagine this was very mentally and physically draining, I'm just gonna blow a lesser restoration to try and make you feel better.
Does it do anything?
Does lesser restoration take care of exhaustion? I
Well,
don't know what lesser
Probably
does off the
not,
top of my
but
head.
I was just hoping for like.
Um,
Actually, you touch a creature and can either end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. But the
Wow.
condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. So no. But even just mechanically aside, does it make her feel better at least?
It does get rid of the failed death save.
Oh,
was it? Okay.
But it's just a restoration for that. A lesser restoration is enough for that. I wanted to give you that. Hey, by the way, you really did take a lot out of yourself there.
I'm gonna pull out a blanket from
There's a
one of
reason
the.
my wisdom's a -1.
I'm gonna pull a blanket out of one of the rucksacks and ignoring the tiny cartoon devils on it because all our stuff got turned into hell stuff. I'm gonna wrap her in the blanket. like a
It's
little,
definitely one of those like crinkly space blankets,
yeah.
the silver ones.
I'm gonna make a little Luna burrito and kind of
have
slightly hand it to Evie.
Uh, I
I,
have a healing drops. I can warm it up for you.
Why don't we, you know what? Why don't we go back all the way back to the ship and you guys can relax in Luna's room, a familiar, comfortable space.
Luna, make me
Say
a
hi to
wisdom
me.
save.
yeah, disadvantage. That's a 21.
A 21 success. For a moment, Vim, as you like see Vim out of the corner of your eye, is still a raven, but they return back to the caterpillar form. Now I have to start rolling. Now I have to start rolling for things in the future. Yeah.
I remembered a, a, a lot. Um, we, my past self traveled with all of you, and Vim, you were a raven, and we also traveled with Shalathorn and her wife Sildana. Um, Shalathorn. She was a paladin who taught me everything. She's like they were like moms to me, and God, their love was beautiful. But Shalathorn, we were fighting a lich, and it was trying to smush all the universes together, and that would be bad. And Shalathorn sacrificed herself, maybe in every universe, in order to stop it.
Evie, make
And
me an
then
Arcana check. To
26.
provide clarity, Evie, with Luna's description of the events just now, putting together that gold dust, that was probably the moment that happened. It looked like it may have basically pulled her out of the multiverse altogether.
Interesting.
Or
Or at
spread her out
least
so thinly through it that no version of her can stand. It's hard to tell.
is there also a possibility that if the Lich was trying to condense the timeline, that she was condensed into one timeline?
That could be a possibility too.
So this also then confirms, because we know that there are multiple Lunas all over this universe. This confirms then that Luna's past life was not a Luna from this universe.
Yes.
It's a Luna from another universe.
but Sildana, she loved Shalathorn, and I don't know, I think maybe that broke her or something, because it looked like she was the one who tried to, or who did kill me, and was with the Calistidian order. Was did she create it?
Luna, I forgot to mention one thing while you were going down memory lane. Because you pushed yourself so far, you have advantage on persuasion checks against Sildana going forward.
Interesting.
Okay. Let me note that in my superpowers.
Is it possible that she knew your particularities and aimed not necessarily to harm you, but to remove you from that universe and into at least potentially a better one?
I don't know enough. she was crying but smiling. What does that mean?
You can make an insight check to try to figure it out. Anyone can attempt it.
That's a wisdom, and I'm at disadvantage right now. But I have hero point, so we can try it. Insight. That's not good. Insight. Nope, that's worse.
Darius, you want to roll insight?
Frankly, none of those were good, though.
Someone's cruising for a high roll.
Oh, you said I got an inspiration.
Yes.
Can I use it?
Sure.
Quick turnaround.
That's much
Hey!
There you go.
The face of someone who has received good news is so happy, but at the same time, so sad.
I didn't pick that up.
Also, she was so happy, but also so sad.
Well, I mean, that does lean into my hypothesis to a certain extent.
What do you think?
Well, what I was saying earlier about how maybe, at least from her point of view, she thought she was doing something kind.
I don't know. She was like a mom to me, and she was
Exactly.
she had these pieces of a key, and if she just got all the pieces, everything would be right and okay.
Luna, you could tell the artifact they were holding were all those pieces collected into one. That was the end of the adventures you had with that party. That was the final. That was the BBEG of that hypothetical universe.
Hypothetical universe.
But
So you
we
had it
won.
when you were fighting the lynch. The lynch? The
The lynch.
The lynch.
Three-headed lynch.
Oh, well, the lynch.
The lynch.
They
You
speak
had
for the
it
tribes.
assembled when you were fighting the lich, but
It was assembled when they were fighting the Lich. There is more to that story, but Luna didn't push the memories deep enough.
They pushed them pretty hard.
I pushed it pretty hard. Don't tell me I didn't push it.
Don't tell me that.
Well, more memories can be unlocked.
I learned a lot today.
and
Um,
I mean, we have Sword Friend a little bit more powered up now. There's nothing to say that we couldn't try
can
again.
you search for
if you
Sildana
wanna.
on your
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. Yeah, I look up Sildana.
Sildana was in. Let's not fuck up my timeline. Well, look at your notes.
The consequences of wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Well, wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff combined with multiversal stuff.
The two go hand in hand.
Yeah. Sildana was a researcher in the Ambrosia Rose system. However, as you all know, the Ambrosia Rose system has no more currently. This universe is Sildana. Single, alone. They were entirely focused on their research by the looks of things. Something about signals from deep within space. Looks like their last paper was a report that they were writing from a large sort of space station that was mainly a resort, like a massive resort. But that one went dark sometime before even the Ambrosia Rose system disappeared. If you all remember, at the beginning of the campaign, one of the options you all had was that resort. It was that resort. That's something that you didn't. That's something that y'all didn't get to.
It's gone.
Well,
It's gone.
yeah.
It's fully gone.
Doesn't necessarily mean that she is gone, though. Unless I'm seeing like on her timeline, rest in peace. You were
No, there's
loved.
no.
miss
I mean,
you.
pretty much everyone. It's assumed that everyone in that system died when it got turned to darkness.
Hmm.
So they're probably gone. Like they probably are dead, but who knows?
But there's also nothing to say that she was for certain in the area at the time. If she had left, if people had not heard from her since well before then who knows? But regardless, this Sylvana will probably not remember anything about the other Sylvana. Just
Can
as
I have
much
a
as
question for clarification,
Yeah.
Will?
I can answer.
Did it look like after Charlotte Thorne like disappeared from all universes
Mhm.
and you said that the like Calistigian order like kind of popped up as like Sildana was being upset and reaching out and yada yada yada.
Mhm.
Um did it look like that was her doing, or did it look like
It
they
looked like
were
the
fighting
moment.
her too?
It looked like the moment she activated the item. It looked like the moment she activated the item, and it almost summoned them to her under her command
Yeah, okay,
immediately.
that's what I thought, which would make sense of like the nothing matters entropy bullshit that we're dealing with. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Without her, there is no reason for the universe to exist.
Yeah.
That seems a little.
Just making sure I put that together, right? If we find her, maybe we can stop the order. I need to
again, we
talk to
don't know
her.
that she's even involved with the Order in this universe.
She made them. Didn't they come from other universes? Isn't that what they do?
It's been a while now since we had our little jaunt into another universe, so I'm a little unclear on the details at this point.
Well, I'm trying to remember from Tolatio's lab.
Yeah.
Holatio let them in sort of by accident. He was researching the multiverse theories and
Yeah.
sort of stumbled into them and then
But those
let them
Calistigian order
through.
like
Yeah.
come through
I mean,
universes.
do
So
you-
I can assume that they might all trace
Oh,
back to her.
I will
Talatio did.
say, Evie, you are at a Tolatio lab. Do you want to do what you've been doing at the other ones and skimming their computer system?
Oh, yes.
Well, why don't
Thank you.
I thought I would
Why-
remind you
Reminder.
about that too.
should we first finish taking Luna back to the ship so she can
I
fully
would like to
rest?
sleep.
Yes.
I'm gonna need like
Yes.
4 full rests.
So Luna, it's funny you should say that because as you all are saying, the time to return to the ship, a bit of brimstone pops up, and standing in front of you now is a onyx devil with scrolls covering her in a very tasteful manner.
Wow.
We are looking respectfully.
She smiles. Luna, you look awful. I apologize.
That's rude.
Are you all right? Did something happen? I realize that the Archdevil of the Forge died, unfortunately, by the hand of the Archdevil of Schemes' lackey, so it appears the power is going over there. That puts us in a bad position. Oh, Luna can't pick you up.
If
The
it makes
Archdevil
you,
anymore.
yeah, if it makes you feel any better, the former Archdevil of the Forge is now a current master of the Forge. And is pretty powerful without being an Archdevil. And I suppose he sort of owes us one, but maybe after a little bit of therapy.
I know, but I mean, look at this. And she snaps her fingers, and a envelope with a Calistigian seal appears in her hand,
What?
and she opens it up. You are cordially invited to the Archdevil of Schemes' grand commencement masquerade to take place tomorrow evening. Please come, enjoy yourself, and meet your new ruler. She holds the invitation, and unfortunately, it would be very faux pas for me not to show. She closes the letter. It's fine, though. I had a plan in case this went belly up. I smile. How much do you know about... How much do you all know about devils, I wonder?
Not very many.
No, not a lot.
Well, you
Especially not by your standards as the archdevil of knowledge.
see... Fair enough. Well, you see, the Archdevil of Schemes is a devil that came about from pride.
Mm.
And they're inviting us to their home for a party. They gather a lot of their power from their personal image. It would be a shame if their party were to go badly, rumors were to be spread about them, and their image would be shattered. It would, even in their own domain, perhaps depower them to the point where a group of capable adventurers could deal with them in some way.
Oh,
Message
so
received.
we just bully them until they're sad enough to kill them.
Well, also,
Yes.
clarification, we could ruin the party. Evie, with your mastery of the alchemical arts, could you make a bunch of stink bombs?
Well,
Or
that's not my
fake...
forte, but I'm sure I could try.
I've also heard in some places, if you have like this fake ice cube with a fly in it, you put that in the punch.
But Luna, you look
I could
absolutely
also just do-
exhausted.
Yes, she's going to need a couple days.
Well, she'll have one night's rest, I suppose,
Can-
before the party tomorrow.
As a high-ranking devil-a-do, can you perhaps have a special room where they can get like 4 days of rest in like one night?
I'm afraid not. It appears as though whatever actions Luna did to receive this, they will have to live with the consequences.
Matthew, I don't suppose you know you have greater restoration, do you?
I might be able to prepare it. I don't have it right now, but we could start the day with a greater restoration. I will look in what level that is.
I'd prepare it, perhaps. I'd
Yeah.
prepare it maybe
I
maybe
mean,
that's a leave a spell of that level you prepare.
I will say, to be fair, I did warn.
Actually, it's a 5th level spell. Though I should mention it costs 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust.
Oh,
But
I forgot that about greater restoration.
and also greater
Who
restoration
plays with material components.
greater restoration only reduces exhaustion by 1 level.
Yeah.
But hey, that's an important level because that
Alright,
gives
well-
me my advantage back on, or my like normal attack rolls and saving throws back.
So we have just double checking of it's hard to read my equipment. It's so small. We have 300 gold in diamonds, and let me check what the thing of Revivify is. 300 gold exactly worth of diamonds. So we need to find at least another 100 gold of diamonds before tomorrow morning.
You can trade that out at the devil market. That's fine.
Okay.
But
Devil diamonds.
before we get to any of that, we'll need to get you all prepared because we have one hell of a masquerade on our hands. And with that,
I'm gonna need 5 gold from someone else.
with the pure
I gotcha.
joy on McKenna's face for me announcing that.
I love masquerade.
Oh, you do. I put one in every campaign so you can have one.
Masquerade arc to me is like that Chef Boyardee commercial from the early 2000s where the mom is like, "We've had Chef 3 times tonight," and the kid's like, "But I love Chef." And then the Chef Boyardee can jumps off the shelf and rolls all the way home to the kid. That's me with masquerade arcs.
As we come towards this, I would like to spend a few minutes at the end of the session tonight while we're on air. Rose, do you have any questions at all about the stuff that Luna saw tonight? Would you like any clarifications?
I think you clarified everything. Like, I had those couple questions, but I think I've got it now. That was a lot.
It was, y'all, like I said, we're getting to the point where things are ramping up.
What was the artifact that the witch, like, if you
It was
described it?
it was that sort of 20-sided thing.
Is it gold D20?
It's not a gold D20. It's like, imagine, you know, the artifact in Baldur's Gate?
A D20?
So a D20.
It's like that, but more spiky.
That was pretty spiky.
It's
It,
even
it
more
was
spiky.
kind of spiky.
Like, it's instead of it being a like flat D20, each side is its own like little triangle. So like each side of the D20 is its own like little 3D representation.
So it's almost more like a
20 pointed mace.
Yeah.
Saint Quartz, perhaps, with its square pointy.
I have a die like that actually.
Sure.
Yes, you do. I've seen it.
Well, so if it's okay, so it has 20 sides, and each of those sides has 3 sides. So it's technically a 60-sided thing.
It has 60 planes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange shape. But yeah,
3D printer artists, get on it.
Make Billy model it.
Yeah, make Billy model it.
I could.
Poor Billy.
Be like, hey Billy, you want to do something
That would
fun?
take him 2 seconds. Like, well, okay, that's a lie. It would not actually be 2 seconds, but like
Yeah.
that's not a hard thing to make.
And
That's
then I
just
could
shapes.
print-
Like that's
I
just
could-
a bunch of triangles.
I could print it. I could have in my hands here for us.
Oh, that'd be sick as hell.
But yeah, so
I could have got myself an Astral Prison actually at the Icon. Someone was selling a 3D printed one.
I almost bought a resin printer the other day. So it was on sale. It was only $300 instead of the normal.
You should
600.
check Reddit because some of those are better than others.
Yeah, I would before I do it. But everyone, thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of The Astral Calling. Join us next time as we do the preparations for the ball. I thought we were going to do the masquerade ball preparations this week. That's what I was like, oh yeah, we have things to do where we can not have everyone and it be okay, because it would have been a bunch of time of us describing outfits and things. So think about what you want to wear for your masquerade. And Rose, can you do me a favor just before we go? Because you've now set things in motion, can you roll me a D100?
Oh, okay. That one doesn't have to be a disadvantage. Hold on.
Nope.
Yeah, 92.
All right. Well, my friends, the results of that roll will be revealed in 1 to 2 weeks. Thank you all so much for coming, and we'll
1
see
to
you all
2?
on the next one.
1 to
Bye.
2.
Ew.
On the
Are we
toe.
missing?